Hey everyone, welcome to our first ever podcast show. My name is Andy Aguirre.
I'm Patrick Collins.
And I'm Drew Yox.
And we're very excited to talk to you about some movie stuff. So today on our show, we're going to talk about, we're going to have a get to know you segment to get to know us. We're going to talk to you about what we've been watching in 2017, because regardless if we go over everything we've watched, we would be here all night. And then we're going to, after we do that list, we're going to go on a list of what we look forward to in 2017. Oh, and then because we're going to end our show with a review of Spider-Man, which I'm the biggest Spider-Man fan here, and I'm very excited. Yes, I'm verified. So yeah, let's get going. So let's get to know you guys. So so let's start with Patrick. Let's see. I wanted to ask you guys a question, so I'm gonna start with Patrick. If you were stuck in the desert with 3 movies, what 3 movies would you pick to stick with you forever?
So I can't have all the movies.
You can't have all the movies now.
Do I have a working TV at least?
Assume
you have to base it entirely off how much you like the DVD cover.
Oh, okay.
And, you can't actually watch the movies.
What about 3 internet streaming services? No? Okay. Okay, I get the question. Let's see. So, first one. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I still think it is the greatest movie ever made.
Wow.
Personally.
I didn't know that about
I think it's the greatest movie ever made. Okay, I'm going to go downhill a little bit here.
Okay. Do it. What's number 2?
Cabin in the Woods. I know it.
I can't be mad at that. That's
I understand, there's, it's a good movie. But I love the horror genre. And it's also funny, and it makes fun of the horror genre. So
it's a pretty smart...
It's
a
very
good
smart
job
movie.
Of satirizing the whole horror genre.
And you can't go wrong with Josh Whedon, so I can't be mad.
Yeah, I forgot he did that actually.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have to go with Kung Pao.
Kung Pao.
That's my 3rd movie choice.
Oh, my boy.
I think I have pretty 3 diverse movies there to keep me entertained for a while.
Those are all in very separate things.
I have to give an honorable mention though to Dodgeball. It was between Dodgeball or Kung Pao.
Interesting.
I really just wanted a funny movie that I could rewatch over and over again. And Dodgeball is just one of the greatest underdog comedies of all time. So I have to give a shout out to Dodgeball.
That's not bad.
I can't be mad at that list. That's pretty good. All right, Drew, you're on the spot.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about this question for a long time. It's very hard to narrow it down.
So you just went on to IMDb and picked the 3 top
Yeah, I went to IMDb. I
movies.
looked up the top 3, and it's Transformers 1, 2, and 4. The 3 movies I would probably bring. One of them would probably be A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Just because
I've actually never seen that.
You've never seen... It's the best Christmas movie. It's... Oh, my God. Okay. I need a moment to collect myself after
He'll
that.
shoot your eye out. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't get it.
This guy. And then it would probably be Life Aquatic.
That's an interesting movie.
It's a little out there, and I know a lot of people don't say it's Wes Anderson's best, but big fan of it. I love everything nautical just as a person, so that speaks to me. And big Bill Murray fan, and he's pretty central in that film. And then now this is the one that is kind of breaking me here, because I kind of want to say I would want to bring Planet Earth, Oceans, Shallow Seas.
Just one of the DVDs of the mini-series?
Yeah, Shallow Seas. I told you which one.
Are you picking this because of the cover?
Both cover and... I just love I could listen to David.
May I remind you, you're on an island?
I thought we were in the desert.
Okay, 3 movies that you would want to be stuck with forever.
If I'm going to be on an island, I surely don't want the Shallow Seas one. That's going to be...
It would be boring.
I would probably... If I was on an island, I would probably take caves.
There you go.
I would take caves, yeah.
All right, fascinating.
Yeah, and now... did you disagree, Andy? What do you got?
I'm very curious what Andy's sweet
Yeah, they better be
Are they all
stellar.
Spider-Mans? Or?
Honestly, I did think about putting all 3 Spider-Mans, but
Did you include the Italian 1980s Spider-Man?
I did not. I have not seen that one.
Don't watch it. You ever see that reaction, that like GIF reaction of the guy going? Whoa? That's where it's from. It's a man shaking his head with long hair and like a dead body. He's like, whoa! Like that's yeah.
Okay, I don't need to see it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the highlight.
Well, okay, so to go on to further exploit my nerdiness, I really love the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I feel like that would kill off 2 of my movies because I can't take one without the other.
Really?
Because
You go...
I find these 2 movies continuous, and I just love being around these characters so much. So if I got part 1 and 2, I could just play them back to back, and that just killed more time. And so again, I just love these characters. So
Your family was never around as a child, were they?
Yeah, no, they were around.
Yeah, the whole
They were
the
about
playing
family
on
at the very
something.
end. Okay.
Welcome to our therapy session.
Right,
Therapy podcast.
Things get real, and apparently I get put on the spot.
Yeah.
And I'll have an emotional
But
breakthrough.
one and 2 together. I'm surprised at that.
I was thinking about this like all day long. Even when I was at work, I'm just like, okay, what is it? Like the first thing that came to mind would be the Guardians 1 and 2.
Because
That's dedication.
I just didn't think you would. I knew you would take one Guardians film, but I didn't think you would take up 2 slots with.
I thought about it too.
Because you watch so many movies. Like you're a movie guy. Like this is.
I know, and this is Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like comfort food for me, and so I could just have them be around at all times.
You will need something comforting on a desert island. Yeah.
Right, and it's and I thought about like what would I play over and over again? So I would play these 2 movies back to back, and I just again love these characters. As for my 3rd movie, I had a really hard time.
Is it also good or also bad?
Because they're all so good.
Oh, okay.
They're all so good.
And there's no Guardians 3.
And there's
so,
no Guardians 3.
It's tough to fill that 3rd slot.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking, okay, well, I got the Guardians, and here's an honorable mention. I almost went with the first Avengers, also done by Joss Whedon, because, again, I like being around them, and it's the first time we see all those characters together, and it's just fun to watch.
That is kind of the start of this huge, like, franchise, this whole world they've built. Like, that's kind of the first gathering.
Oh, you mean like mashups and stuff?
Yeah, think about everything, like Captain America, Spider-Man now, the Hulk, the Iron Man, they're all...
Yeah, they're setting up Godzilla versus King Kong with movies.
I honestly think Avengers changed the game a little bit like that, like making movies like TV shows almost, you know?
Waiting for the next episode.
Yeah, when's the next Captain America coming out? You know what's going to happen, it's like the next season of Game of Thrones. But sorry, I didn't mean to derail you entirely there.
But you proved my point, though. That's kind of why it's my honorable mention, is that I would want the Avengers, the first one, to be maybe a part of that. But I'm like, do I really want 3 comic book movies? Which I wouldn't complain about, but, I might want to switch it up. And I thought about it, and maybe if I want to get something like this really serious, I really love Christopher Nolan, and Patrick's going to hate me for this, but I would probably take Inception with me. Inception, because I just love Christopher Nolan's work, and Patrick has opinions.
That's the Inception horn.
Thank you. I'm there again watching it. But he's one of my favorite directors. He did all the recent Batmans with Christian Bale, which was great, and I think Drew does the best Bane voice.
I did get drunk and do it in a theater. Mad Max. It was not. It wasn't any Batman film. Tom Hardy just came on screen.
Tell the story real quick then.
I got drunk and went to the movies, and then asked for a beer at the counter, and the guy clearly wasn't doing his job well, and served me another. And when Tom Hardy initially came on screen at Mad Max, I was like, "Oh, we are born in the dark."
It did not matter who I was till I put on the mask.
And so I wasn't the most popular guy in the theater. I'll leave it at that.
And that's why we don't go to movies with you. We go separately.
To say nothing about... I'm not going to go down that rat hole. Let's just move on.
Yeah. So anyways, my 3 choices is the 2 Guardian movies so far, because I adore them. honorable mention of the first Avengers and then Inception, just because I wanted to a Christopher Nolan movie to have on.
That's not your third pick. Inception.
Inception's my third pick.
That's your third pick.
Yes,
Okay.
Inception is my third pick because I want something of his.
So wait, why are we doing this? I thought you guys were supposed to pick the same movies I picked, and that way we'd all flow so well together.
So in your world, we are all stuck with each other and doing this.
Oh god, we're all on the same
We're on
island.
the same island, and
I'm just
apparently
like-
we only
We're all
watch
watching Kung Pao 24/7.
24/7.
Kill myself with a shattered DVD. That's what I. Whichever one's the strongest plastic they use for the DVD. That's the one I want. That's. Damn. That's.
So apparently, we'd be stuck with Patrick and just his picks. So there we go. That's what we
Imagine
picked.
we all walk up on a shore, one crate. Oh, please be mine. It's Kung Pao sits at the very top. Oh, it's
Great.
Oh, thank God. Kung Pao.
Kung Pao and nuts in the crate. That's what's in the crate.
And then the rest of the movies just get destroyed. We just all live with Kung Pao.
Just
Yeah.
Kung. Wow.
Just Kung Pao. That's how that ends.
Take me back to the
Yeah,
sea.
I guess I was just surprised how different all our movie choices were. I guess is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, no, there's some variety there.
I mean, it's a good variety. I think. I like it because then I feel like I'll learn something from you guys, and maybe you guys will learn something from me. But you
Yeah,
know,
maybe.
And I think
Maybe.
Small chances.
we'll learn a little something about ourselves as well.
again,
I'll grow as human beings.
Yeah,
again,
you know?
we're reaching
I
for
winked when I
emotional
said that for the
breakthrough.
record.
And then Frank some food later.
Frank it up.
Crank it up. No one gets it. No one gets it.
Andy is illiterate. That is the joke. He thinks Frank means get. I don't get it.
And,
But,
and thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
well,
Yeah,
you know, it's a material. It's a podcast. That's
that's not
I'm
what I
a
signed up for.
showman, Andy. I'm a showman.
Well, all right. Well, I want to move on. So let's move on. Moving away from this, we left the island, guys. We left the island. All right. So we're back in California, where we are all from. So it's already August, and I can't, just go
Barely.
movie after movie. Barely, yeah. So there's been literally 8 months of great movie this year. So far, I don't know. 2017 has been one of the best movie years that I've experienced so far. So I want to go around the table again, and I want to see what you guys have enjoyed within the last 8 months.
Last 8 months
So let's start with Drew.
in theater.
In theater recently, yeah, just theater release movies, and honestly, let's just throw in a little bit of Netflix stuff there too. Why not? I'm gonna go
okay,
crazy.
Okay.
Anything that's even series or just movies?
Series, anything 2017 goes. Let's do it.
Okay,
2017.
anything
I don't know
released
what-
in 2017.
Boom, let's do it.
Oh, that's okay. Well, my I'm not good with dates, so forgive me if I'm a little outside the balance
Yeah,
here.
Don't
late
worry.
2016, I guess. I could
don't
accept.
worry.
I
I will
loved
call
Toy Story.
you.
Is that 2017?
Why did
No,
we- why did we bring
I
off-
actually had a really good time seeing Logan in the theaters. I thought that was a really good,
So good.
really good big picture, big screen kind of movie.
I was actually very surprised how much I liked it. Cause,
Yeah.
when I watch a superhero movie, I expect it to be over the top and crazy, and Logan wasn't that. It was like a grounded and just like almost like a heartbreaking story.
Yeah,
just like
I think that
the
was-
struggles and him traveling with X-23. That's her, right? X-23.
Yeah, 23
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Xavier as an
that
older
was-
yeah.
man, and just him was autism.
That movie was rough.
Alzheimer's, not
Alzheimer's.
autism.
Sorry,
It's
God damn it.
like it almost didn't feel like a superhero movie.
I think that's one of my favorite parts about it. It
Yeah.
had those action scenes where Wolverine was cutting up guys and
Yeah.
the kid was stabbing people and Xavier.
The kid was the
she
coolest
was
part.
She was savage. It was
badass.
amazing.
Like she wasn't the best part, but she was the coolest part. Like
I'll
her
give- yeah,
fight
I'll give
scenes
you
are
that,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
scenes that I was like most looking forward to.
Flipping around and
Yeah.
and then but just how human they made the mutants. Charles Xavier, the most powerful psychic, is developing Alzheimer's, and that's a real problem that real people face. And not everyone has to save the world, but there are people who have to take care of those with Alzheimer's. And
Yeah, but I mean, they do show some pseudo these aren't real problems, but they can be
Well,
translated into real
yeah,
problems.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Like
It's-
Wolverine struggles with getting his knives up in the very beginning of the movie,
Oh, yeah, the
and
claws.
that's like an impotent.
Oh,
impotence, right? Like he can't.
Yeah, I didn't catch it like
it's
that.
kind of
That's-
symbolic for like he can't get his dick up.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how to
His
say
penis is not erect. That is what it's
There's
symbolic
an
for.
issue there. But here's the thing about Logan that I really liked. It was the Wolverine that I think most people wanted because it was a rated R movie, and they didn't hold back. They know that when you get Wolverine, you have someone who's gonna cut up somebody. We saw in this movie claws going through skulls, just
Pretty.
F-bombs going off. It was just everything that you would expect him to be.
There were some. It's a fight scene. They're all flashing through it, right? But I mean, like heads getting chopped, not off, like in half, like that. Like it was grody, but in like But I don't feel like it was over the top. I just felt like it was
It
kind of
didn't
a
need to be.
realistic.
the movie that it was.
Yeah.
I want to claim it to be over the top.
Yeah, I feel like it was an indie film with a superhero in it.
Yeah.
It was a great
An
story.
indie film?
Yeah, I mean, like, because it was like
it
more like
wasn't- it
vibes,
certainly
it was a low
wasn't indie,
budget.
but, like-
it didn't need to have this like expensive sets or whatever.
Was it low
just-
budget? Was it
yeah, it was,
relatively?
I
I mean,
think it was
it's
relative-
it's Marvel. Well, did Marvel do it?
No, it's Fox. Wolverine.
That's right, 'cause,
Fox
they own
owns
the rights to it.
Wolverines. They own the
to it.
rights. Again, Fox owns the rights to Wolverine, Deadpool, and Fantastic Four.
Well, I love Deadpool.
I love
that was
Fantastic
always
Four.
Which is the reason, which is I think that's what like
All
gave
of them.
Fox like the get the light bulb like, oh my god, wait, we can do rated R movies, and that's why they gave this last one a rated R screening. So
Well, I think a lot of it's they're following the age group too.
That
a
is
lot of
true
people
also.
who watched the very first X-Men and were most into it were kind of more kids who loved the superpowers and all that kind of stuff, and now they're adults and they want more X-Men, but they want it adult.
Yeah.
right.
So
All right, well, Patrick, give me another one. What's something else that you've enjoyed in 2017?
Okay, well, I was reminded earlier today that this movie was in 2017, but I have to give an honorable mention to Baby Driver. Because that was a
damn
movie.
it. I take it back, Baby Driver. That's
Oh my God.
I love Baby Driver.
Okay, first of all,
I forgot about that.
when we all went to the movies, I was the only one criticizing Baby Driver, and then as that week rolled on, every day I was like, I like it a little bit more than what I thought. and then now I tell Andy and everyone I see, like, yeah, Baby Driver is the best movie out right now.
That movie is just so well crafted.
It is.
From the beginning, that opening scene just got me just, oh my, I was just thrilled from the beginning of that opening scene with the music.
It is a thrill ride.
Yes.
Well. No, start to finish, it just nails it on the head at all points, I think. And it's one of those movies that is worth a second view, I would say as well. There's a lot of
little subtleties.
lot of little things.
Did you see it twice?
I did see it twice.
Okay, well, I'm gonna continue with my actual pick.
Okay.
And Get Out is my actual pick.
Out.
See, I never saw
So,
that. I never saw that.
as a horror fan, this movie was phenomenal. Like, it's funny. It's like actually psychologically just like mind breaking as like some of the stuff happens, and it's like, it's all about like kind of like a black person's like almost worst fears in a sense, and it's like I know I can never relate to that, but it's so interesting to kind of see it through this. What is it? What's his name? Peele.
Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
It, like, just to see his like take on like what it is, like how scary it can be to be a black person in our society.
So I actually never saw it. I still haven't seen it, and I've been trying
You're missing
to.
out.
Yeah, no. Well, I've been trying to
I own it.
like abstain. God damn. I've been trying to like keep away from spoilers and stuff, but I've had every chance to, and they're doing the podcast now. Can you give me an elevator pitch, just like start to finish, what it's about, just so I can
Okay.
Nice.
get a grip
So-
on it? Yeah, because this
So
is
Patrick on the spot.
The main
well,
character.
just surmise. You don't have to like word for word.
Main character dating a white gal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Weird, right?
Are you saying she is weird, or that they are dating is weird?
I was making
Tread-
a joke.
tread lightly, tread lightly.
The relationship. No, but yeah. So I think it actually starts off pretty well because he's asking her like, "Hey, does your family know you're dating a black guy?" And she says no, and then they have a conversation. And I think that sets up the movie really well because that's like all.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it's about. Is this awkwardness of race and even in color of skin. Like that's like what it's about. So he goes to this house, and everyone's nice but odd, like weird odd, not just like I like to collect toenails. Weird. No, it's like actually they're not like that.
That's a red flag,
But-
regardless. That's
But I'm just saying other red flags pop up, and he starts to notice weird things, and I don't really want to spoil the rest
what is
of it for you.
okay, but just for playing. What is her? Does she pick up on the red flags as well? Is she, or
I
is
think she picks up on
kind
some.
of oblivious to the whole?
She's oblivious to most things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, she grew up with this family. You have to realize that.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I think that should honestly. I think with what he just said, you need to go see it because.
All right, you got the
You
movie.
can just
I'll-
borrow my DVD.
We'll pop it in.
I'm
I'm stealing books and movies now. This is
Hey, you're stealing everything, but hey, it's
Oh,
all good fun. I went into this movie blind. I did not hear much about it or watch the trailer. I just know that it got amazing reviews and it got I think 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
100%.
And so I was just excited to go see it. I was blown away.
Are we still talking about Get Out?
It was
It's actually at 95 right now, which is still amazing
It's still
for
amazing.
like how long it's been out.
that. When did it come out? What was
It
the
came out
February?
in
January or
January.
Yeah, January, February. I don't have the date on top of my head, but yeah, I was super surprised. I loved every bit of it. It definitely called out certain social aspects that people need to be aware of, and it was just well made. And to have Jordan Peele's first movie, written and directed, be this big, just gets me excited for
I was
whatever.
so-
Highest
I was so
grossing debut
surprised.
for a black director is what I
And
hear.
I'm just excited to see what else he'll throw out there
Yeah,
in the future.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a smart guy. They both are Key and Peele in the sketch group, but I think he's really making a name for himself in kind of a more behind the scenes writer, producer, director kind of vibe.
Get Out's amazing if you haven't seen it yet.
Go see it.
I think both Drew and I can both guess what movie Andy.
Yeah.
I guess the viewers should be able to guess too.
I know. Elucidate tell me what is your movie?
Well, Patrick wants me to be predictable. I will find. I'll give a shout out to Guardians 2.
A
it's
shout
not
shout
the
out.
top movie.
out of left
And it
field.
was in your top 3 movies of all time.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm-
saying that's one of the top movies that I enjoyed it
Okay,
100%. I loved it.
This makes
Stab you in the back,
Yeah.
Guardians.
but
you gotta take that poster off your wall. You don't get it.
But again, Guardians is one of my favorite ones that I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the best I think that I've enjoyed
You know,
this year.
Inception was filmed a couple of years back.
But yeah, we're moving on from that. I'm gonna.
I'll get better.
I'll give it. Yeah, you gotta work on that. But I'm
You
trying to
get, like,
think. Cause you guys named really good ones already. You got we had.
Well, just expand on more.
No, because
What
I love Baby Driver. I love Edgar Wright's work just in general. He just crafts well. Like I'm a big fan of his older work, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's one of my other. It's a movie that I really enjoy as well.
On a quick note on Edgar Wright, I did not expect this out of Edgar Wright. I knew Edgar Wright was doing it, and I expected something more silly, more kind of.
I would argue that it is silly.
It is silly,
Certain parts of it, but I understand what
it's
you're
definitely
going
a
with.
more grounded. I don't want to say grounded because a lot of it's kind of almost fantastical, but it was just a more adult film than I'd like Shaun of the Dead or
Sure.
Hot Fuzz or Scott Pilgrim. It was
Sure.
good. It was
But
good.
I think the story goes to that he stopped. I mean, he I don't know if it was he didn't get kicked out, but he did not do the Ant-Man project, which he was supposed to do. And I think during that time
With Paul Rudd?
With Paul Rudd, yeah, he was originally supposed to be the director
Oh.
of Ant-Man when that came out. But
Interesting.
I think during that time he started working on Baby Driver, and and so finally he did it, and it came out, and it was just amazing. I'll go back to a Nolan film that I saw this summer, which was Dunkirk. Dunkirk, another amazing craft movie. It's surprisingly for a Nolan movie, it's surprisingly short, but I have never been in a movie where I was stressed out the entire time. Like, my butts were so clenched.
How many butts do you have?
More than you would imagine.
He brought his collection.
I brought my collection, but my whole body was just so tense throughout the whole entire movie, and it was just great. Like it felt like you were there. Like the sound and everything was just so sharp, and it was just a crazy experience. So
That's always what I wanted to experience, like I was in war.
yeah, but
Sounds
Yeah,
like
that's-
such a great.
so if you see this movie, I would recommend you see it in the big theater. I'm not sure you'll get the full effect in home unless you have like an amazing surround sound and screen.
Like us.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. So jealous.
So
Just, oh, do you want it? Yeah,
Yeah.
take it.
Jesus. Yeah. So
is that your pick?
Dunkirk is one of the ones I've enjoyed this year. I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, obviously we're
It
gonna.
just sounds like you're just gonna list every
Yeah,
movie
you're
you've
just
seen
going
so
through
far.
every-
No, I mean,
all the movies
obviously
2017.
I wanted to.
Oh, I love King Kong. I loved.
I would have picked Spider-Man, but we're gonna review it in a little later.
Pick Spider-Man. Then that's
But we'll
a
That's
perfect
that's a
Yeah.
perfect transition.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Come on.
Yeah. But what I want to transition to, guys, is I want to go to what. Now that we put our picks or whatever, talked about what we talked about.
Yeah.
We have 4 months into the year, so what do we look forward to for 2017?
Dude, I was confused as to what day it was. Like, I don't know what's coming out.
Thor's coming out in 17,
Thor.
right?
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm
Yeah,
excited
November.
for that movie.
Thor. I saw.
Thor.
The sound check. I saw a trailer for something that came out at Comic-Con called The Shape of Water, and it is a Guillermo del Toro film, and it revolves around a mute woman working at some kind of science facility, and it's set back a ways in time, like. And basically, she and this creature in the laboratory develop a kind of a rapport, a relationship together. And this is what I picked up from the trailer. And it's so interesting. There looks like a lot. Yeah, no, you guys should
Sounds up
definitely.
my alley.
If you're listening, check out the trailer, listen to it, watch it, preferably. But yeah, that's probably one of my most anticipated for the upcoming.
I'm a really big fan of his. Like, I love like his other work as well. I think Pacific Rim, Pan's Labyrinth was like all amazing. So.
I definitely got a mix between Pan's Labyrinth and like Hellboy kind of vibe with it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have to confess, I have yet to watch Hellboy. So
What?
Yeah, I
Get out,
I really
get out
like
of your
that
house.
movie.
Yeah.
Another movie that I was talking to these guys about earlier is A Ghost Story.
A ghost. I had not heard about this before you
Casey
said that.
Affleck
Wait,
is under a sheet the whole time, and he's actually supposed to be a ghost.
Beautiful.
Like, so he's a guy in a
Oh, get out of the
sheet.
house! I'm Casey Affleck.
Yeah.
That made him sound whiny. I like Casey Affleck. That was my horrible.
Shacks.
Yeah.
Shacks ate me.
The Shacks.
But yeah,
Hey, he
I
won his
think-
award for the Academy.
I think that movie looks
Yeah.
pretty entertaining. Apparently, it's out now.
It's out now.
Yeah, I think it's like
Well, like Del Mar,
independent.
like-
Yeah,
okay.
independent.
Independent theaters.
As
Those are
Cassie,
small independent theaters.
as Cassie was saying.
Yeah. Jeez. Nice. Well, I'm also looking forward to for movies. I'm looking forward to also Thor. It looks like really fun. Like we have a. It feels like it's gonna be like a cop buddy movie, like Thor and Hulk just being together.
It's
I don't
just
know.
I
like
was
a
seeing
good
them
time.
fight.
In the yes.
Well, there's the different trailer. Did you see the other trailer
I didn't
where
see
it's
the
like
other
it's
trailer.
actually like Mark Ruffalo, like, oh, where am I? And he's like, and then it's like he and Thor like they fist bump each other and then they go. I don't know, but like
Okay,
yeah.
I'd be fine with that because it's kind of ripping off of the Planet Hulk.
Planet Hulk. Yeah, I remember you prompted me to read the Planet Hulk, and I got through like half of it.
You got through half of it pretty fast, right?
Yeah, it was like while you were playing video games
Yeah.
at your house. I was just like sat down and read it, and then I was like, okay, bye. And like I didn't say anything.
You were
the
in
whole
silence.
night.
You were like
Yeah, no,
pages.
it was captivating.
It's
and,
a really good comic.
Yeah, so if they can kind of pull from that, that's a pretty good source of inspiration.
Yeah. What other movies we got?
We got Justice League. Another DC
Oh,
movie.
yes.
Oh, that's what I should have mentioned.
know-
like, I loved Wonder Woman. Why
Oh,
didn't we
okay,
talk
well,
about
yeah,
Wonder
honorable
Woman? We need
mention
to
to
give
Wonder
that
Woman,
a
honorable
shout.
mention.
We gotta give Wonder Woman a shout out because
let's
that.
give
Okay,
let's
Wonder
give
Woman
hands
is
to
one of the
female-
coolest movies I've seen,
Alright, Pat.
but no. I want to hear the future 2017.
All right.
Good. If you haven't seen Wonder Woman, see it, rip it offline. Well, pay them for their money work, but whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm just
For their
excited.
money work.
I'm
For their money
excited.
work.
Patty
It's all money
Jenkins agreed to do the second one, so she'll be directing the second Wonder
She
Woman.
should just direct
I
all the
heard-
DC movies.
Yeah. Okay. Frankly, yes.
Yeah.
But I heard she wasn't going to direct.
I was thinking.
I mean, I trust your word over mine. Like, I'm just kind of like, oh, that
Yeah, I
happened.
think it was recently announced, but maybe we can get next time we'll have like a fact checker and look it up. But I hear that she's still on board. Anyways, back to the future 17, we have Justice League, which is why I brought up Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman gives me hope for the DC universe. Because honestly, like Suicide Squad.
But I mean, it wasn't like these had to be partly made side by side at some point in time. So and it's not all the same people as Wonder Woman, so it could all be the same people who did the Suicide Squad, for all I know.
Well, I think part of it is just that if Wonder Woman was bad, DC would have lost all momentum. Like nobody would have been hyped for Justice League. Nobody would have been hyped for Wonder Woman 2 or pretty much anything they put out.
And
after that.
the writing and directors were different, from Suicide Squad to
Who
this
didn't?
one.
So didn't Zack Snyder had to leave directing due to like a family tragedy, correct? And then
so hearts go out to Zack Snyder. Apparently, the story is his daughter committed suicide, which is just a tragedy. But
it's always help if you need it. If you're listening.
Yeah, and reach out for help. So who is taking over is Josh Whedon now. They're currently doing reshoots for the last parts of Justice League, which is funny.
Currently?
Yeah, like they're finishing up reshoots right now.
When it comes out in like 2 months, right?
It does. So
I feel sorry for the editors on that. They got their work cut out for them.
But my hope is up because I really trust Josh Whedon. And
he hasn't steered us wrong so far.
Yeah, I mean, one of his movies is on my top 3 list.
There you go. So I'm excited.
I'm still gonna be, looking at reviews first before I go to that movie, though.
Yeah, a grain of salt. Grain of salt going to that one with
for sure. I'm still gonna go check it out. I heard different reviews from Batman vs Superman, and I still want to go see it. Yeah, for some parts it was really disappointing, but I'm gonna still so if I'm following Marvel, I'm gonna also follow DC for what it is. Mm-hmm. So moving on from that though, I want to ask: Star Wars is this year, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's December. I believe it's December.
I'm sorry, I'm totally tuned out Star Wars.
You tuned out Star Wars?
I'm not
oh my
interested
God.
in Star Wars anymore.
I'm super stoked for it. Yeah, I'm
it's just too much of the thing. I've accepted
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy as our generation Star Wars.
Man, they're two separate things, though. It is Disney, but
Interesting.
Two separate things, Mike, but that's all in space, and Guardians of the Galaxy has a way cooler alien planet setup than Star Wars is.
But
It's like, hey,
worlds.
Star Wars. Oh, it's a planet full of humans. Where did all these aliens come from? Oh, it's a planet full of humans. Where did all these aliens come from? Come on.
They got alien planets in Star Wars. They just never went to them.
Yeah,
except for the Gungans below the water on.
I don't know. I just want to see just more crazy lightsaber battles and stuff like that.
I'm
I think you're gonna
excited.
get that,
I'm excited to follow the saga. Yeah, this December we're getting the next episode. I think next year we're gonna get the Han Solo movie if it all goes well.
Oh, now that's over the top.
They're doing a Han Solo
now I'm
young.
with you. Fuck Star Wars. I hate it. Let's move.
Actually, that surprises me that you said that.
No, I'm
looking
kidding.
forward
I'm
to
just
it.
Of course, a Han Solo movie would be cool, but you just can't help but feel like they're really milking it. They're just really.
They were milking it the
dry.
first 3 movies, or episode
episode
1,
one,
2, and
yeah.
3.
Well, I feel like he had a vision when he put out 4, 5, and 6, and just kind of flopped the follow through on it.
So I guess my thing is, sorry, is it episode 7?
Yeah,
we all liked it.
Yeah, I loved
from what
it.
I remember, and we all realized that it was like practically the same movie as what episode 1 or 2. I can't remember.
Episode 4, and
Four,
that was
episode 4.
and yeah, that was complaints about like that was probably the
And I was
significant
fine with
point.
that, but then after watching the Rogue One, I just was like, a lot of this is still the same, and I just feel like there's just this weird uncreativity. It's like they feel.
No,
I wouldn't say that. Yeah.
I see where you're coming from though. There's a lot of like the simple Disney formula, the action, little laugh, little drama, action, little laugh, little drama, and it's all within it's episode 7. It's the 7th iteration of a Star Wars.
Okay,
world.
can you describe any major differences in the worlds that we visited from the last older movies?
What do
you
you
mean
mean?
like thematically or
Yeah,
like environment
thematically.
or like
Yeah,
well there's
environment.
like Tatooine, which is like the desert planet with all the junkers and the racers, and there's like Naboo, that's like the royal.
But we've
wet
already
world,
seen
and-
these.
Well, you're talking about planets from the. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that there is a little bit of. There's only so much you
Okay,
can.
so this is my problem. I feel like I've been stuck in the same place as Star Wars for a very long time, where they literally have created this vast, huge, like solar system. You know, like
Yeah.
not even
Sure,
solar
sure,
universe.
sure. Yeah.
is a better word.
But
But
they-
like we're still in these same planets, and there's nothing really over the top crazy happening. It's like
And
they
it's
can
all
do so
Skywalkers.
much.
It's everything. Everything's.
I understand that
Yeah.
people really love these like adventure stuff, like Lord of the Rings and all those
Oh, I
kind of
love Lord of
things.
the Rings.
But
That's
Yeah,
a whole
big
different
fan,
topic.
big fan.
but I mean, when you do, all the movies are just when all the movies kind of just lumped together. You know, it's
Oh.
just
Well, that I gotta say, I like Rogue One more than I liked Episode 7.
really
Yeah,
the
like-
opposite.
I'm the opposite.
Really.
Yeah.
I liked it because it didn't follow a Skywalker. It was one of the first things to not really deal with like Jedi. It felt way more connected to the whole like Imperial takeover, the whole war.
There was
Yeah.
something I don't remember Rogue One the best. I want to say I was upset about the main gal's relationship and her kind of love interest. There's like a lot like there,
No, I like-
there felt like there was a huge gap there.
I think it was well done. I think they basically made a male and a female lead that their relationship was more practical. And then, you know, when they're spoiler alert, everyone dies. When they're about to get vaporized at the end, it's kind of like they find solace in each other. And I think that's kind of all it boils down to. I don't think there was a real romantic interest there. I think it was more just kind of like you're a person, I'm a person, we're both going to die like shit.
Right. But so here's my take on Star Wars. Why I do have a love for it is that I think I look at it. Yes, it's a big universe, big planets, everything. But I think the strongest suit is the story that it's telling. Yes, it's more like a linear thing because we in the episodic parts we are following Luke Skywalker's linkage, and I think we are getting fed more information about the Jedi's history and what they're all about, which is what I'm really interested in. I
Kind
think
of the lore of
yeah.
the
right, and
Star
I'm
Wars. Okay, I get
really
that,
I'm
yeah.
digging that, and I
get
am a
that.
fan of these movies. I think back again to like episode 4 and 7 being similar.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think it was a generation thing because imagine if you were one of the parents as a kid watching Star Wars for the first time, and then all of a sudden you have kids. And you get to take them to go see episode 7.
The same movie you saw 20 years ago.
Yeah,
It was-
and you get to really, but of course with the differences, it's differences, right? Of course there's differences, but you get to relive the nostalgic parts that are added to it with that child, and it's great. Like, it's maybe sure they're similar, but I think that was the point, but it's its own movie as well, you know, and it's still following, you know, the Skywalker saga, so it's like you're not really repeating the past, you know, it's just a different story, and like similar it's like similar people connecting, which I think is kind of cool. So it's like I'm excited to see what happens with Rey for this next one.
I mean, I would argue that differently, that I think it was the same story and the same kind of characters and stuff like that, but there are minor differences that give it its own unique taste. Like a lot of people were like on top of how much they like Kylo Ren. I still don't I mean, I don't think he's terrible, but I thought it was weird. People were super into this like guy who's just like thrashing things, like super complainy and stuff. Like I didn't really understand that, and the fact
whiny,
that like I was kind of upset that the fact like he couldn't take on like these two total novice like people
let's be
fight.
clear. He got shot. He got solid hit from Chewbacca's bolt caster, and
Sure.
that thing like sent people flying. That ripped through multiple people, and he just took it.
But I
brought
mean,
force
he is
and was
great
like,
magician.
And then he got hit. All right. Oh no, I'm gonna. He can't bring Kung Pao into this.
No Kung Pao.
No, so I mean I think that's their. I get where you're coming from. It is a little like that he basically lost to like an untrained dude doesn't have the force. He's just a dude with a sword essentially, laser sword.
But I mean, as we saw again, that Rey does have the Force, and so she was able, for the most part, handle her own. In that last, as his second battle. Anyways, but yeah, so that's what I'm looking for by the end of 2017.
The new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, good stuff.
Anyways,
So, Spider-Man.
Spider
Alright.
Wars.
So you want to talk about your favorite movie?
I
of
want to talk about one of my
2017?
favorite movies that I've seen, and this for 2017, and what we're gonna review. But I want to start out. Everyone has these complaints about who is the best Spider-Man so far portrayed.
Interesting.
So I want to ask you guys who your guys' opinions are as the best Spider-Man you've seen on screen. So I'm gonna start with Patrick.
So actor-wise?
Actor-wise, yes.
Gosh dang, because my favorite Spider-Man movie is still the very first one with Green Goblin.
Maguire.
Sure.
Willem Dafoe
But
and-
it was because of William Dafoe that I liked it so much. He is like the most perfect Green Goblin.
He was good.
there
He
could
was
be.
so
And he
good.
was in a. He's like one of the only like. It's like one of the only superhero movies where he's in like a goofy outfit and he's still scary as hell.
He's menacing.
I mean, really, like if you think just watching someone walk around in that outfit, you'd be like,
Who's
that
he
is,
playing?
that's,
Right.
yeah, that's
I'm not-
not. But he
not crossing
he
paths.
made that outfit
that's
so scary.
That's it. I never thought about that, but
God.
you're right. You're absolutely right.
He is so creepy in that movie, and it's so. But there's also like this part of you that's kind of like. There's a little part that's just like I kind of understand why he's so, like angry. I understand it's like because of the freaking steroid medicine he has. But
Yeah, he's got
But
that
let's
kind
go
of
back to the
duality.
question. So I want to
So,
talk about
Tobey,
Peter Parker.
yeah, Tobey Maguire. Is that your
Spider-Man.
choice? Good old Tobey.
Because your first one is fair, are you going with Peter as Tobey Maguire as your favorite?
I think I have to pick Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
I do like this kid,
Tom Holland?
but
Tom.
he's kind of like, from what I know of Spider-Man, he's in a completely different world than the Spider-Man that I know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I understand like Tobey Maguire is good as Peter Parker, and the argument is he's not a great Spider-Man. But I listened to a review yesterday that refreshed me on some of the older Spider-Man movies, and apparently there's a critic consensus that the second Spider-Man, the one with Dr. Octopus, is the best Spider-Man.
Oh, so
Right,
good.
yeah.
And
So
it's
good.
it's because that Peter Parker goes through the troubles of it's difficult being Spider-Man. It's
Yeah.
hard for him to live his own life and be Spider-Man at the same time. And that's the movie that encapsulates that the best. And I think that's what a lot of people forgot about, because when most people think of Spider-Man today, it's like, oh, I want someone with quick-witted kind of humor.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what-
and then, but
that's like kind of his
also
calling
being
card,
kind of
but-
like a nerd, like
Yeah.
outside of the suit, like just like kind of
Yeah.
a goofball. But there's also, but people forget that there's this very big tragic side to Spider-Man.
Okay.
And that wasn't really addressed in this movie. Like, sure, he kind of gave up his prom date, but that really isn't that big of a
Well,
loss.
I think he gave up a little
Yeah.
more than that. I mean, there's that whole like time skip in the beginning where it was like, he was turning down every like social opportunity and like dropping out of sports and like marching band so he could be ready if Tony Stark ever
Yes, but it
called
didn't
Yeah.
feel like that great of a loss, though. I mean,
Yeah.
like, they skipped the whole Uncle Ben thing. Like,
Yeah.
thank God they
we'll
did.
We'll get to that
Yeah.
in a little bit. So your vote is for Tobey Maguire?
I'll go with Toby.
Okay, Drew.
I did like this new kid. I I did like what's his name, Tom Holland, but
Say Andrew
but
Garfield.
no, I'm not gonna say Andrew Garfield. I'm not. I'm
Just
not
so
gonna
we
do
all are
it. Just not gonna
different.
do it. Andy, that falls to you.
Yeah, and
because I'm gonna actually say Toby. I just got a bit of nostalgia for that, and I don't think I can ever let that go.
See, okay, so I understand that everyone's like,
honest.
oh, Tobey Maguire is the first, recent, was the first, like, Spider-Man big movie, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And that's who, like, everyone first, like, that's the first impression, right? And I get it, but I grew up, like, watching the cartoons. I, have some of the, like, a lot of the comic books that I still need to read through, but my first impression is, yes, Spider-Man needs to be quick-witted. He has this immaturity at some points, yet he isn't such as like the biggest loser as Tobey Maguire is depicted to be in his movie. And I feel like Andrew Garfield almost would have had me. So here's my order. I like Tom Holland's my favorite so far, if I have to pick one. And then Andrew Garfield, and then Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Because I feel like as things came further, they started depicting Spider-Man better. Like, they started fixing him, updating him
So
better.
it sounds like to me you like the more fun, happy-go-lucky Spider-Man.
Well, because that's what he is. Like, he has, I feel
That's
like...
kind of his calling card.
I've actually
as a
seen
superhero.
and read quite a few Spider-Man comic books where Peter Parker is either crying or someone else is crying because he couldn't be there for them at the time.
I just think that those scenes are heightened by the contrast to his usually like a plucky, but there is stress for him being a superhero.
Yeah,
Like,
and
He has to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though, too, though. Like, that's the other thing why I really like Spider-Man, because, yes, a lot of his story sometimes is really tragic, and he goes through so much shit, as a character, as becoming a character. And remember, the first Spider-Man has been here since, like, the 60s, so he's been through a lot of shit, it's everything that's been written for him.
he's like 70 years
So,
old.
yeah.
Old man swinging
but-
down the streets.
I feel like I like this fresh start with Tom Holland. This is the first movie.
Yeah.
So we don't know where this is gonna go.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it another movie to
Yeah.
decide if he's better than Toby.
Yeah, so that being said, like, so far, I like where they're going with Tom Holland, because we are just barely getting to know him, and
So that's
that's my
your pick?
That's my pick.
Tom Holland.
I mean, I personally-
respect.
Personally think that Toby has a really big rap mainly because of the third Spider-Man movie. 'Cause
Yeah.
the first two are
First two
great.
were great. Yeah,
But,
so good.
but they were forgotten because of the third movie was so bad.
Completely
I
overshadowed.
mean, me and you,
Yeah.
we both have stories about going to the movie theaters and coming out of them
Oh my
being
God,
like,
I was so angry.
I
What-
actually remember your story pretty vividly. But like, I am a huge Venom fan.
Oh
Like,
my
I have the
God.
shirt, I have a hat. And I was so excited to see Venom, and I was completely let down. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person out there who really, really likes Venom. Like, I know
Yeah,
there's
Venom's
a
tight.
big...
And I
He's
love
one of
him.
the
He's
coolest-
probably one of the best villains.
He's
that
one of the
has.
He
coolest
is one of
villains.
the most recognizable Spider-Man villains.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
Green Goblin, Venom.
So,
Right.
well, Dr.
Yeah.
And then,
Octopus, too.
Doc Ock.
Yeah, then
Those three
Big Wheel.
are for sure.
I mean, the one thing about Spider-Man, he has amazing villains. We
Yeah.
can talk about the
Oh,
villains like all
his-
day long.
his rogue
you know?
gallery
It's just-
is, like,
it's-
So I'm
Top-notch.
just saying
Top-notch.
that I think Tobey Maguire might have kind of a bad rap, mainly because of that
Yeah.
third movie.
I believe that.
I will
Believe it.
concede so far that the best Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man 2. I think that
Dude,
that one,
That
so far made, I think that one is very enjoyable, and just the way that it was shot, like, it did represent the tragic and the hopeful part of Spider-Man and his growth. So I still really I'm with you. I like the first two
Well, I
movies.
actually like the first one more than
Yeah.
the second one personally. Just the review, the
Yeah.
person that reviewed saying,
Right, and I fall
and they
into that
made good
category.
points. But
Yeah.
I'm almost always about the villains when it comes to movies. So, and Doc Ock is a great villain. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but God, William Dafoe, dude, I love him in like
He's-
every movie.
Oh,
that I've
so-
seen.
Yeah.
what a phenomenal actor! I
Yeah.
love Willem Dafoe is just incredible.
So, that being said, why don't we just go into the review of Spider-Man: Homecoming, and we
we
are
go.
gonna do spoilers from beginning to start. If we break this down, who knows
Yep.
how this is gonna go? But yeah, so if you don't want to listen to this, because we're gonna do spoilers. Or if you've already seen it, then tune in. And if you get sick
Yeah,
of
it's
us,
not like we haven't been spoiling the whole other movies.
we've already
been
spoiled
watching.
so much crap. So but if you get sick of us, then just you could press stop.
You get sick of us. What are you listening to us for? Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so I loved this movie from beginning to end. Again, this has been my favorite Peter Parker Spider-Man depiction. Honestly, I don't know. I just think for a Marvel movie, which is great, because I was just so thrilled when Sony's like, all right, Marvel, we're gonna work together. Because that was just one of the smartest movies that Sony has ever made, and I was just super happy. Yeah. Oh my god, I started crying when I saw the trailer for Civil War, because I just was so happy that they put him in Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so great. But anyways, again, it was well done, and again, Patrick mentioned something earlier saying we didn't have to see the Uncle Ben thing. Which is
Peter.
I think it's great. We didn't have to start over from the origin story. And
I saw Spider-Man 1 a lot. I know that's it. Peter.
Having a heart attack.
Yeah, no, he got shot. He didn't have a heart attack.
But the way he make it sound, he's like somebody got a heart
That is
attack.
literally what he's on the sidewalk.
I fallen and I cannot get up.
I wish we had that clip because I would it would be uncanny. It'd be like I just played
well,
it.
Just
I
make
can't-
a DJ mix.
Peter.
Well, that was a really sad part, so I want to move on from.
No, I'm very happy that this movie did not keep beating the dead horse that was already gone.
Yeah.
Like
They
it's in the dirt.
streamlined
Yeah.
the whole thing. They all go through the origin story, and it's, we all know it gets bit by a radioactive spider.
Yeah.
It's the oldest superhero origin story in the book. We don't need to cover it again.
Yeah, and I'm just so glad they're like, all right, we're gonna go straight into it. He's a kid, and the best thing that I really liked is that he is a kid learning how to use his powers. It didn't have to be a dark movie. It didn't have to be over the top. It was just a simply coming of age story. And I love the fact that Iron Man is his mentor, which I think is going to play out huge.
Barely though.
He legitimately took him under his wings, and so I'm super excited that for what it's going to be, for the future movies with him and Spider-Man. We'll see what that leads to. So, Patrick, what are your thoughts on
I mean, it's hard for me to say that it is a coming of age story. It almost feels more like he's needs to accept or learn his place.
Yeah.
It is the whole thing of with greater power comes greater responsibility, and he has to realize what he's capable of and what he's not capable of, because he wants to hang out with these big time superheroes that, and some of them are gods, may I remind you. Hulk and Thor can squash him like a bug.
Sure.
Come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he thinks he can hang with the big guys like Iron Man and stuff, and
Run
that's
with the
kind
big
of
dogs.
it's kind of he thinks he can be with the stars, and he probably can someday. But I mean, it doesn't feel like a coming of age story though. It just feels like it's more like the struggle of wanting to be somewhere where you shouldn't be yet. It's
yeah, and he's a kid. He's eager.
Yeah,
he
he's a
wants
kid.
more.
I think that's his character is a kid. He is inherent to this iteration of Spider-Man. His coming of age doesn't really happen because he's a kid.
Yes,
that's
he just is a
it's
kid.
not
It's
like
a
he's
start. I guess I misused the term coming
No,
of age.
no, I get what you mean. He is, finding out.
I think there is an argument
place.
for it to be
Absolutely,
coming
absolutely.
of age. I personally don't agree with
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, the reason why I might have, because I mentioned this coming of age, because he's learning how to use his powers and learning what it can pertain to. And
I have to disagree with that too. Because it's we see him in the Civil War movie, and he already knows his powers pretty well. It's the only part where I think he's learning his powers is when he's learning about the different
hierarchy.
webs.
Yeah, I mean, that's
the only part I think where he's learning.
But
his powers.
he's understanding how strong of a person he needs to become and what it
just
takes.
as a person.
As a person too, he's learning how intense these situations are, which is why Iron Man is mentoring
he
him.
learns how scary it is. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole boat scene. I guess we're skipping a couple of scenes here,
Right.
but
Goes right to the boat.
that's when it really clicks. oh, geez, like I can't really handle these responsibilities quite yet.
Right.
You know, like Iron Man called the FBI on the bad guys.
Yeah.
And and Spider-Man, didn't know that, but he tries to handle the problem himself, and it ends up being way too much, and Iron Man, needs to come and babysit him.
Yeah.
So, but I mean,
So I have a story. Because
By all
we're
means.
talking about a story right now.
What?
I have a story about the scene, right? So I work, at my job. People know that I love movies, right? So I mean, at my job, people know that I love movies. So they'll ask, me for my opinion, and this one lady's like, "Oh, I watched the Spider-Man movie." This lady's older. She's elder, and told me that she liked the movie, but she did not like the opening scene, which to me. That opening scene
with him filming on
yeah,
top?
it was him
With
filming himself, and I'm like,
I love that.
and I had to tell her, I'm like, that is probably one of the best scenes in that movie, and her
You gonna tell her opinion was wrong?
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna
I
say?
wanted to. I swear, I've never wanted to tell someone that they were wrong so hard, in that very moment, because her response was, "Well, I just didn't want to see. I don't see Spider-Man that immature," and I'm like. He's
15.
He's a kid. He is immature. That's how he starts out.
She was probably stuck with the older.
And right, and that's
Get that,
and it was stuck
Tobey
with
Maguire.
and so I'm like, and I had to explain it to her. I'm like, yes, he is a kid, and this is what he's all learning about. And yeah, he's 15-year-old who would not be excited to have a Spider-Man suit built, go to Germany, and then see a freaking huge Ant-Man, Giant Man pop up, and see all that great stuff. But that opening scene to me just instantly told me I was gonna fall in love with this movie.
Yeah, no, I actually really. It was very funny.
A good opener.
Yeah, and it connected to the past, movie. That was great.
Yeah, it was a good tie-in. Good
Yeah.
tie-in from the previous.
And then Happy, him and the relationship was Happy was
John
And you
Favreau.
kind of understand,
always loved John
and you
Favreau.
kind of understand who Peter is at that point too,
Exactly,
with his,
yeah.
with his filming and stuff.
Yeah.
How curious and how interested and how excited he
He's
is
just- yeah,
to
he's-
be
he's a nerd. He's pumped
who
about it.
he is,
Yeah.
and yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, going into the opening though, so we get to meet quite a few of his classmates and
Oh,
stuff.
yes.
I mean, I love his friend, the chair. The chair.
The man in the chair.
What's his
The
name?
man in the
His
chair.
name is, Jacob Batalon.
Yeah,
Jacob- oh
he
my
did
God.
a great job. He
Yeah.
was a very
I like-
cute,
yeah.
cute guy.
I liked his. I liked the core cast there.
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei, Aunt May, she was good.
Oh my God, how about the- how
She's
about
still hot.
those jokes? Oh my God.
I thought she was a good Aunt May. She
hilarious.
was a good kind of I don't know. There was a lightness to her character that you knew Peter could return to, and it was oh yeah, everything's safe at home. I can't piss off Aunt May because she's kind of my last bastion of sanity.
What
I
about
didn't really,
Sanity, that's
I
what
didn't
we're
really
screaming.
get that, to be honest. I felt like Aunt May was a very, very minor part
Yeah.
of this movie.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Tony Reboloni. Reboloni,
Flash?
butchering his name. But yeah, the guy.
Did you just call him Tony Ravioli? Is that
No,
what you said?
I can't even pronounce it now because you threw me off.
Make it in there.
Yeah. So.
Revelori?
Yeah, Revelori. And so, he played an awesome Flash. Just thought the way that he was kind of bully, and the way he picked on Peter, and just
I loved how modern they made this bully.
Yeah.
They didn't stick to the whole
Oh, yeah.
push him into the lockers or anything.
Yeah.
No, he was just
Channing
being a
Penis
complete
Parker.
Penis
Dude,
Parker.
Yeah,
he was just a huge douche, and he did it in such a funny way. I love that, and I'm glad
Oh,
that's
that's
our
great.
future Venom someday.
What?
Yeah,
He's Venom?
he
I thought Tom
becomes good.
Hardy
He
was-
becomes
in the
good
comics.
Venom.
Yeah, in the comics he becomes
Anti-Venom?
anti-venom. Yeah.
Oh,
Flash
shit.
becomes Venom.
Yeah, in the,
Oh.
He
the
becomes
comics.
Space Knight Venom.
Yeah, in the comics.
He
I had no
he
idea.
represents.
Are we talking the
like-
white Venom, anti-Venom?
No, he
just-
becomes okay. So Brock.
He's the original.
Yeah, Brock.
He becomes,
Brock.
and then he becomes anti-venom later.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Brock's
so
All
becomes-
right.
goes
Yeah,
to
got it,
Brock
got it, got it,
first,
got it.
And then-
Flash.
and then gets the Flash. Flash has lost his legs, and he, with wearing the Venom suit, he has legs and stuff.
Shit,
like
I don't even
that.
know his backstory.
But yeah, it's I don't like.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yeah, it's
being
good-
a
good
douche.
Flash, good
And
Flash.
I was actually pretty excited to see him whenever he came on screen. To be honest,
Yeah, he was in the funny
it was
with that thing.
what funny fucked up thing is he gonna say to Peter now? Like, you know, like I was
Or he calls him from the party. He's like, you shouldn't come back. And the
I
whole
was
party's
chanting Penis Parker in the theater too.
Yeah, you're always
like, yeah,
guessing.
he got
I
me
was
into
right
it.
next to him, and I was so embarrassed.
But also Zendaya. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, but she played Michelle MJ.
Yeah, MJ.
like her.
Spoiler,
Like,
MJ.
yeah, that was-
I wonder who
that
that's
came out
gonna
of
be.
That came out of nowhere.
Let's go. Who stole the show? One of the who stole the show.
Hannibal Buress as the gym teacher.
Fuck no! God
Yes.
damn it, dude! No.
Loved him. I don't
Patrick-
think he said like 2 words except like "Don't leave detention." I got to put this video on. It's required by state. I think those are like his 2 lines.
I think my favorite line that he actually says. We're gonna talk about his favorite line. Would be like when he put up the show the Captain America clip, and he's like, "I think it's a war criminal now."
That's right. That's right.
He's like not even looking up. He's like, "I think it's some kind of war criminal." But Patrick, call me out. Michael Keaton was.
He
So
always
good.
needs to fly, dude.
So
He
good.
always needs to fly, and he just, to me, he's one of the people who stole the show because his him being a villain
He's a great villain.
portrayed
Yeah.
so well. I loved him as a vulture. I love how they actually made him be a vulture, finding scraps from recent battles.
I that was a great little reimagining of the Vulture. Is like how the origin story is that
He's a
was
blue collar.
pushed out by the big dogs.
Yeah, and this happens to people in real life.
Yeah.
The government will just step in and say, "Sorry."
And I liked,
We're gonna take
besides
this
the other
over.
Marvel movies, he was a well-crafted villain. You understand why
Mm-hmm.
he's angry, why he does what he does.
And he still has humanity too.
Yeah.
I mean, he kills one guy, but that's on accident. He doesn't. He's not.
He's not very broken up about it though when he vaporizes that dude.
but-
He's like, I thought that was anti-grav gun, huh?
But
like that.
he saves Spider-Man technically at the end of the movie. I would argue.
No, he doesn't. He tries to kill him.
No, he could rat who Spider-Man is
Right.
to future Scorpion.
Okay, I got you. I
So
got
there's
you.
this
Yeah,
mutual
yeah.
respect that he had. He has at least respect for Peter Parker.
Well, I think that's a nice little throwback to when he in the movie you find out that the love interest of Peter Parker, Liz, played by, give me 1 second here, Laura Harrier. Her dad is
The
oh my
Vulture.
god! I keep wanting to call him Kevin Spacey. It is
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. I don't know
Come
why
on,
I do that.
just
I don't know
think,
why I do
just
that.
think
Batman.
Batman and Birdman.
And
No,
the
dude, I know.
vulture,
All I'm
he's
thinking of
flying
is-
every single movie.
See, all I'm thinking about is Birdman, and I just keep coming. Anyways,
Can we talk about that scene though? That
when he
when
pulls
Peter
aside the
Parker,
car?
when Peter, no, well, let's that open, you know how you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I swear to God, I did not see that coming.
The dad,
The dad
being
part,
dad?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I think everyone when we were in the theater was blindsided by that. I heard people gasping, and I
I don't know how to feel about that.
I loved it. I love that twist. Did you guys see that twist when you guys first saw it?
No,
didn't
I
see
didn't-
it,
I didn't
but
see
I'm
the
not.
twist at all.
I'm not super oh my gosh.
I-
this is
I
the
was-
greatest
it's
twist
a classic.
ever.
It's a classic comic book superhero twist.
It's-
Oh what? The villain is
Yeah.
closely tied to
Yeah.
someone I like.
Yeah.
This is insane.
No,
but
I'm not saying that because it's tied in, but this is the way that it was portrayed in that whole scenario of Peter being uncomfortable and just that energy
I'll
that
give
it
you-
fed off was just
I'll
spectacular.
give you that. It was.
How prom could be a total screwed up experience
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
get-go.
yes.
well, yeah, that's.
And then now to that car scene, between him and the man talk
Yeah.
between Peter and the Vulture. It's just
Immediately pulls out a gun and it's just like, I'm gonna kill everyone you know.
on
if you,
on a 15-year-old, just pull it
Yeah.
down, And then he was but show my daughter a good time. Not too good of a time.
Hey, but so what I was gonna say was though at that scene, he says, "I just spared your life. What do you say? Thank you." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Pulled the gun out, didn't kill him. It was like, "I spared your life." Kind of a dick move, if you ask me. But
Well, he needs to throw in a threat there.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I get it. I get it. As a villain, that's what he's gonna do. But his thank you at the end for Spider-Man saving his life from the exploding wingies is not ratting him out, and I thought that was a nice little callback to his man talk with Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Spider-Boy.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm very glad because I was told a lot, or a lot of people were assuming that this was gonna be Iron Man 4
Oh,
with
right,
Spider-Man.
right.
I'm glad that Iron Man
That would've been lame.
was
That would've been lame.
was barely in this movie, even though Robert Downey Jr. still did a great job.
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
whole crew.
Well, he's
and,
always good.
the director Mark Webb. It was just great. I'm just excited for what Marvel's gonna do with Spider-Man now that he's now that Sony's allowing Marvel to work, they're working together to further,
And
take him on.
I know. I said Tobey Maguire was my favorite Spider-Man, but
Andrew
this-
Garfield.
shut your pie hole. This kid's got chops. There were a couple scenes where I
look forward to Tom Holland.
I thought he performed pretty well. Like the scene where he gets trapped into the rubble by the vulture.
Man.
The vulture brings a
crazy.
building down on him, and that was like real panic. Like that felt real. Like I was like I was like, oh god.
Right.
Like I feel
Yeah.
bad for him.
That's funny because I did feel that, but at the same time, I'm like,
Did you laugh?
why is this so hard for him? And then I started thinking about how they made that scene. Like, so I don't know why I went there, but
I mean,
how they
the
made
kid-
this.
yeah, there must have been just some like mechanical thing, like pushing it up at the same time.
The mechanics.
Yeah,
God.
that's
Well,
all
no
for
shit,
some
yeah.
reason.
Super emotional moment, and you think of it, okay.
Tom Holland is lifting a building
Yeah.
off of him.
But I feel like, see, that particular part, though, like, yes, we see him cry under, like, a building crushing him, and because we are literally watching a kid, and
Yeah,
it was
that's-
scary, and
I mean, he's screaming for help. I mean, this kid, he's the same kid who, like, earlier in the movie was like, I can stop the bus with my hands.
Yeah.
And, like, it was emotional. And he comes to terms with that he is Spider-Man. It's not, there's not...
Yeah, the
there's
friendly
not Peter Parker,
neighborhood
there isn't-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, this is him. This is Spider-Man. And he finds it in him to lift the building.
alright. Man,
So,
that yeah, it was great.
I mean,
yeah.
I have a favorite scene. Do you guys have a favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Let's go over
Yeah.
highs and lows
I
for the movies.
I think my favorite scene has to be that beginning part. I just love his
Beginning?
energy.
Beginning?
Yeah, that'll be I'll just say that. So,
All right.
you look like you have something, Patrick.
We have
Okay.
low points after this, so you got it.
Okay.
Sounds
Low
good.
point, low point.
So my favorite scene in this movie is probably like the craziest thing that happens in this movie is on the boat, and then the FBI all jump out, right? And then
Oh, yeah.
blah blah blah. Spider-Man comes, and then future Scorpion, whatever his name is. Spider-Man knocks him
Oh,
practically
he gets-
off the boat, and he's
Yeah.
hanging on, right?
Yeah,
and
I know.
then later, I don't know if everyone saw this, but
Yep.
somebody, I forget who, I think it's Vulture or Spider-Man, someone flings a car
Vulture.
right into the face of Scorpion.
Yeah.
And he's still alive at the end of the movie. I was laughing so hard when he had a car. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know he was gonna die in this. And he's not dead. But that was crazy. A car
Dude, I
went
thought
into his face.
for sure that dude's
Yeah,
dead.
I was like, I totally forgot
the
about
car,
it.
like,
At the end of the
put him
movie,
in
I
the
was like,
bottom
I
of the
don't
Hudson.
know who that is. And Andy's like, dude, that was the guy who got hit by the car. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I did not know who that guy was either, and
Yeah.
I thought, wow, that's because he has his arm like all bolted up in a cast,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's a little excessive for just like a random prisoner injury number
Yeah.
3.
You look at the tattoo on the neck.
It's like, huh, interesting. But it makes a lot of sense now that you say that. I did not realize that was
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
I thought that dude was
Scorpion
dead. I thought that dude
tattoo
was
on his
dead.
neck, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't catch that.
Foreshadowing. Mac Gargan, is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
Mac Gargan?
Scorpion.
You have to say it, I think that's how it's pronounced as well.
Did you have a favorite scene?
Favorite
Yeah.
scene? I really liked... As far as like action scenes go, I gotta say, I think when he's at the Washington Monument, I'm a big fan of that scene.
Like when he's climbing up it and stuff like that, or
Yeah, when he like he has to like climb. He kind of has a fear of heights, and you're like, oh, I did not expect Spider-Man to be afraid of tall places.
You do make a good point there because we never see him like flinging around like he did in the older movies from like skyscrapers.
From like the Empire State Building.
He's never that high.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't
Yeah,
think about
no,
that
it was
till
because
now.
he's like kind of like woo. He's up there, kind of all shaky, and then he jumps over the helicopter and whips off it. Like I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And just the fact that like they pulled guns on him, like no one knows who Spider-Man is at this point. Still, everyone's like like somebody's taking down the Washington Monument. It's that red and blue dude on the building, and I really like that. But there was I liked the humor in this one. Comparing it to like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think the last Marvel film I saw in theaters. The jokes in that felt very not forced, but there was like everyone look at this joke. Everyone look at this joke. We have jokes. And
Yeah.
in this one, it just felt like funny things happened. Like when Hannibal Buress is in the gym scene. This is like a really subtle thing that I laughed at and no one else did.
Jody's pointing.
Yeah, he goes,
Captain America.
my friend
Right,
here,
yeah.
and Captain America puts his hands out to the right, and Hannibal Buress is on the left side going, yeah. That's like I love that, and just little stuff like that.
Yeah, the
is-
humor, I guess, I would, or
Little-
yeah,
little
or,
more on
sorry.
point.
Yeah, it felt more fluid.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to describe it. It was integrated really well.
Yeah.
But low points.
Can you state yours first? Because I don't have one yet.
My low point was the lack of Donald Glover. I really
Interesting.
liked him.
I
thought
agree.
I kind of
I
wanted
think
That's
to
what I
they're
was
building him
thinking, too.
because
up.
Aaron, the name Aaron Davis sounds familiar to me from Spider-Man lore. I'm not sure. I'm gonna
So
Andy,
this is what
call me
I
on
was
it.
told.
It's
is-
probably the same thing that I know. Do you
so
want to explain
he's
it?
the uncle of Miles Morales.
Who is?
Oh, that's the kid. That's his nephew from
Oh, so it's
Queens that he was
Spider-Man.
talking about.
Yeah, it's nephew from Queens.
That makes
Yeah.
okay. All right.
And so-
I dig it.
His character is known as the Prowler, and eventually he steals.
That sounds like a sexual deviant.
right.
He is.
And I think I forgot what.
With
he
great
robbed.
power comes great
Comes a great Prowler.
great prowler.
Comes great sexual
Oh god!
responsibilities.
But so his character, I forgot what exactly he steals from Peter Parker, and Miles gets a hold of it, and then that's how Miles obtains his powers. So for all we know, is that Marvel is leading to the Miles story of Spider-Man as well.
I believe it. I believe it.
So yeah.
But I'm actually going to change my low point. I wanted more Donald Glover and I wanted to say that, but
He's
the
great.
scene right before the building is dropped on Spider-Man and oh my god, Michael Keaton. Thank God, I almost called him Kevin Spacey. Michael Keaton is talking to Spider-Man and he's just calling him Peter. He's just like, "Oh, what's up, Pete?" And I throughout the movie I'd kind of seen Vulture as a sort of Robin Hood figure, you know, and I would have liked if he owned that persona a little more. I'm not unhappy with how it went, but because he basically straight up's like, yeah, I'm a bad guy. Like like everyone's a bad guy. Fuck you gonna do about it? And I just kind of wish that he was a little more like these are the cards I would dealt. Like I'm protecting my family. He does say I'm protecting my family, but like I wish he was a little more. Not in denial of his like villainy, but just thought of himself as a little more of a hero. Like give yourself some credit. You know.
I think it may be because it's finally someone has confronted him about it. Because this whole time he's
just
hiding
kinda-
from it, right? Like
he's just kinda owning it.
He's mentioned it twice that he's like under the radar of the cops and the Avengers.
That was
right?
a big thing for his career.
And the Spider-Man is the first thing to like really stir things up for him.
That's actually
So
that's actually
it's
good.
probably just him bluntly accepting the fact like he is actually doing something
Well,
wrong.
let's not forget the fact that he is also angry. That
It's been
everything
8 years though. I mean,
Right, 8 years,
he started
but-
turning a profit and just
Yeah.
being like, all right, yeah.
You thought you were right, but this all started out of like anger, right?
Yeah, he's clearly a gifted engineer.
You're right.
like,
But,
like, he
but
can
I mean,
find work.
he's still, like he can find work, but he still like was stealing things from Tony Stark Industry.
Yeah.
But I think the actual anger came out once Spider-Man came into his world and started stirring up shit. Once things are like, well, now he's messing up my flow. When it comes to
My jam.
yeah, exactly. So
I dig that. Yeah, I that's yeah. That actually helped me cope with that scene a little bit. But Andy, I'd be surprised if you could find a low.
a low point. I think. I kind of agree. From the trailers, like I thought. Donald Glover was gonna have a bigger part in the movie, but I realized why they set him up. As a low point, I'm not too sure. I mean, the only thing that I wish they would have added was possibly a little more crazy action, but that's also the reason why I did like it, is because it didn't need to be crazy. But if we would have had, Spider-Man do a little more crazy stuff, like maybe I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. But again, that wasn't the point. Other than that, like I understood why everything happened in the movie.
Yeah. I think I was probably the person who's been the most critical on this movie.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear
So
your hot take.
I felt like it was just a little dry. Like I understand, like they took a different approach with this movie,
Yeah.
which I'm glad because the other
It
two,
was played out.
they tried to be dark. Like, they really did.
The Andrew Garfield ones?
Yeah, I
never
would
saw
argue
the
that they're a
second
little
Oh,
dark.
you never saw the second one?
I didn't pay. They were kind of like background noise for me. I didn't really
I mean,
pay
I
too
think
much attention
Patrick
to them.
described it like we
It
and I
was,
both
it was
saw
a
it.
much darker tone.
Yeah, Patrick and I saw the movie together in theaters, and like
Both of them?
This is the second one we saw together,
Yeah.
the Andrew Garfield one. And spoilers, I'm gonna tell you what happens is that
It came out years ago.
yeah, it came out years ago, but people haven't seen it. But like in this one, Gwen Stacy dies, and that happens in the comic. But I feel like it's like a whole up and down for that whole entire movie.
Is that Emma Stone?
Emma Stone, yeah. So like that's
Love her.
that's kind of why like that movie was a little shaky because you have something happy happen, and then something so tragic happens like at the very end.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I remember there's these spikes of oh everything's great and oh everything's bad but I guess that's what we were talking about earlier with the
Tobey Maguire one.
Tobey Maguire
Yeah.
ones is that there's these major tragedies that keep happening.
That's what was so great about the second one was it was a ongoing.
Yes.
Yeah,
But it was constant tragedy after tragedy, and then there's a part where he starts to rebalance. Sorry, we're talking about the Dr. Octopus one.
Yeah, Doc
where he
Ock.
starts to rebalance his life by giving up Spider-Man, but then he realizes like,
He can't.
damn, I can't give
Yeah.
up Spider-Man
Yeah.
because
Just can't quit him.
Uncle Ben's great words.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie I just
It'll
felt.
never get old for me.
I mean, I did like this movie. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like this movie was a little dry. Like there were scenes where I was just kind of bored. Like when he was like locked in that containment center, and when
Oh,
he's
God, that was
I
great. 'cause
actually liked that
we were
scene.
bored
I
with
liked
him.
that scene.
He's like, what? Just like I forgot how long he was.
37 minutes.
Yeah, like
I saw
37
that movie-
minutes. That's it.
I saw this movie hours ago. I am. It is fresh and ready. Yeah, no, I like that because he had like that suit AI that he was basically like talking in
Karen or whatever.
Yeah, Karen. He was talking to himself essentially.
Mhm.
Like, so it was I don't know. It played to the fact he's a kid.
Yeah, no, I understand like why the movie is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
I honestly don't think they could really change too much.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what else they could do because with like the setting and the characters that they chose and stuff like that. But as Andy was saying earlier, I expect crazy stuff and like we both watched Doctor Strange and that was not nearly as crazy as it possibly could have been. Like when I see a superhero movie, I expect to see crazy stuff happen. Like in Wonder Woman, we see this tower just get obliterated from her just jumping
Yeah.
through it, and it's like, oh my god,
There's a
I want to
great
see
action scene.
I
The
want
fight scene at the
to
end
I
of
want
Wonder
to
Woman.
see stuff that I cannot see in the real world. Like,
Like,
oh
when
my
she's
God.
fighting Ares at the end.
Oh, that was a little much, but I
I
still liked
really-
it.
I
liked
enjoyed it.
I'm
That
not
was
saying
great.
it
Oh, I
I'm not
was
saying it
making all the
bad.
swords. And
You know, it's over the top, which is great. you
Yeah,
know?
that's it.
But the thing is about Spider-Man is that it is to a point like grounded. And
No, it is very
Yeah,
grounded.
yeah.
I guess that's
I mean,
what
it's
makes
grounded
it
as a
great.
radioactive
But
spider
if
powers.
if we were gonna argue over grounded movies, we were just talking about Logan earlier, and I think that
Oh.
was just
Oh,
way
incomparable,
far better than Spider-Man.
It's
I would agree with that.
And I don't
I
think
would
that's
agree with
even
that.
because it's rated R.
I mean, the
It's-
story is a lot more deep, I guess.
Oh, it's a
I-
dramatic-
Yes.
Yeah.
This was very just plain
It's a lighthearted
vanilla.
movie.
It's,
a good tasting vanilla.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
plain.
Oh,
A French vanilla,
I-
if you will, a double bean.
I love it.
No, you can love it. It's
Yeah.
fine. It is a great superhero movie, but when I want to be taken off my seat and like just planted into a new universe completely when I'm in a superhero movie, which is why I'm so interested in Thor. Like I don't think Thor is
if you're
going to
looking
be
for that,
like
that's going to be right. up
like
your
I
alley.
mean it looks like it's a giant green monster and a god. Like they're going to do
Oh my
crazy
God,
stuff.
Gladiator style. That's I'm just
Yeah, like,
yeah,
uh,
buddy cop between those two, like that's going to be great. Like,
Yeah, they're going to do some crazy
it's
stuff.
gonna be a good time.
And you know, I understand like, well, I guess Hulk was a really good movie, but the Thor movies have been a little bit weaker.
Which one?
The
which Hulk movie?
Sorry, the one with
so many. There's
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton is amazing.
What? Is that where he's fighting in San Francisco at the end?
No.
New
That's
York?
Bana. That's Eric Bana who plays in San Francisco. Edward Norton is the one in New York.
Okay, yeah. And like he fights like the weird Hulk. He fights like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Abomination.
Abomination.
Okay, yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
closing remarks about Spider-Man? Any final thoughts? I guess we've been talking long enough.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Sorry.
By all means,
Yeah, I enjoy Spider-Man. I just hope they deliver a little bit more, but at the same time, I don't think they are, and I'm completely fine with that. Like, I do not mind if they stay with this line, and I'll keep watching the movies and enjoying them. But I'm looking more forward to the crazy kind of like stuff, you know.
I too am excited for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Because I mean, this Spider-Man felt like I was still in the same world that I'm living in. Like, I really want to just feel like I'm somewhere else, you know, and just be like, oh my god, I can never.
Venom and all that kind of stuff. That's an alien symbiote. And
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see where they take it. Sure. What about you, Drew? Final remarks?
Final remarks. Spider-Man. It's a good watch. It's a good time. You know, it follows that classic kind of Disney Marvel formula where it doesn't do anything too daring, and it's kind of like like you said, a vanilla. It's like comfort food.
Yeah.
You know, everyone will come away smiling, but you know, it's not gonna. I'm not trying to down. I really like the film, so I'm not trying to downplay it here.
Yeah, but you
it's
have
not
to
gonna knock your socks
criticize
off.
it,
It's not
though.
gonna knock your socks off.
Yeah.
You know, but I'd say like 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. That's, and I'm kind of critical.
Yeah,
of giving
7 or
Miracle.
8.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
So
all right.
yeah, clearly, Andy.
Clearly,
final remarks.
I loved
Final
it.
remarks.
I will give it a 9 out of 10 if we're gonna rate it.
You just did.
I just did.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Is this in your top 3 favorite movies?
You're bringing this to the island or what?
No, I can. No, I mean it's.
It beat Guardians of the Galaxy 2 somehow, and that's in your top 3 favorite movies.
What do you mean? For the summer, sure. I mean, yeah.
No, island
No,
movies.
island movies.
Oh, island movies.
Yeah. What do you?
Oh no! Remember for my island ones, it was both Guardians 1 and 2
Yeah.
and Inception.
Yeah, Guardians 2 was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was this year, but Guardian 1 wasn't. So that was a whole other thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Closing statement going off the rails. I love it. Love it.
But last thoughts. I love this movie. I adore this character. I grew up with this character, so I probably am biased, but yeah, I'm just excited to see where they're gonna take him, and I look forward to it.
Yeah. It's a good Spider-Man. Check it out. Check it out.
Highly recommend it. So yeah, all right, guys. I feel like this has been a good long session. So if you have listened this long, then
We thank you.
We thank you.
Yeah. You're a trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I tuned out some parts.
Yeah. As soon as Patrick starts making any noises, I just black out. So hopefully
An Inception horn for the road.
we don't have any plugs just yet. But hope next week we hope to review Dark Tower. Patrick and I are probably gonna go see it. Drew, you say you're not going to?
I kind of want to read the books. I've been putting it off. My friends have been telling me to do it, and you literally lent me the first one like an hour ago. So
I did give you the book before.
So I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna
Maybe
read.
we should do a different movie then.
I mean, we'll have
To be continued.
Well, yeah. If you have a suggestion for a recent movie that's come out,
just
let
think
us know.
about it, and
Let us
maybe
know.
we'll randomly get the movie. That
Put vibes out there, and we'll pick it up.
Okay, so how about this? We might talk about. We'll try not to spoil anything, but since you're gonna read the book, it's gonna be different from the movie. So we might still go see it because I still am interested in seeing
I'm
it.
definitely seeing it.
Yeah, you guys should absolutely see it.
You have homework. You need to see Get Out.
I gotta see Get Out. That's
So-
true. That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see what's in store for next week. We're gonna have more movie talk. Anyways, thank you. My name is Andy Aguirre.
I'm Patrick Collins.
Patrick Collins.
And I am Kevin Spacey.
Thanks.
Drew Yox here.
Drew Yox. All right. Thank you, and until next time.
Bye bye.